Meta is always a constantly evolving place, and we have a few more things that you're going to want to keep an eye on just in case something actually goes haywire. Don't make 30% of you that have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you guys don't miss out on more content. The first thing we'll be looking at over here for market application and things is going to be the equal D zone. Now, many of you might remember this as bulk of bulk out of that Brothers of whatever set. But if the turn player summons exactly one monster, destroy it, and if you do, the controller of that monster special summons one mask token, Spellcaster Dark, level 1, with question mark attack, question mark defense to their field, which cannot attack directly, with attack and defense equal to what the destroyed monster had. You can only use this effect of equal D zone once returned, and if this face-up card leaves the field, destroy all mask tokens on the field. Okay, so what's the application for this? Why do we care about this? Well, this is one of those things. If your opponent summons, say, a Kashtira Unicorn, for example, to start combo, guess what? They summon exactly one monster. You get to go ahead and pop it. Well, there are ways to play around this, but the biggest applications for this are, say, for example, you go through a full combo, and then you can go AFD, rotate your field spell, and now you're able to go ahead and have this up as a paralyzing aspect to your opponent. Now, this is only going to work in situations where what your opponent would be summoning would be an issue to you. All right, and that's definitely something that you're going to want to keep an eye on here. But when I was reading from a couple players, this was a tech choice that they've been playing for a little while. It just started to be a few more people were looking at this. So I just wanted to bring it up on the aspect of it is a pretty interesting tech choice against some of the current meta decks out there. I don't personally think it's going to stick, but a tech choice that is, always has the potential to go somewhere is always going to be something that you're going to want to keep an eye on. So, okay, definitely is very fitting to start things off here. Next up is the Bishi Balkan. Oh, boy, this card has been a ride to watch. Now, if those of you that don't remember, this card only has one printing in its life right now, and it is paywalled behind Gold 3. Now, you're probably already like, wow, like, what are we doing with this? Well, in the future, you'll be able to take the Visis Synchro and Vicious Stroud and be able to combine them together to Bishi Balkan, and then Bishi Balkan ends up being a facilitator of many, many, many OTKs. Now, Dinosaur also just got their most recent support, and guess what dinosaurs can do? They can do Bishi Balkan things as well. You guys might be familiar with the Machu Mech FTK, where you hand your opponent some tokens, you go ahead and Machu Mech blow things up, and that's literally it. Alright, it's just the value that this card is notorious for at this point is extremely crazy. And its effect isn't even like too crazy. It's just the facilitator of about what, like 6-7 FTKs at this point in time. And honestly, this card should probably be banned in the future, but I think at the current rate that we're going, we're not going to see that. So I wanted to bring this up and go, hey, all real things considered out here for everything that we tend to see, along with, broken things in the metagame. Bishi Balkan is one of those cards that I feel like you want to have a one of. You're never going to find a time where you're going to want to play more than one Bishi Balkan, because it's not exactly going to be... I've never seen a deck be able to make more than one of these. So, at least on the bare minimum, it's a one of. Alright, so anytime in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you can get away with just having one of something, I think is perfectly acceptable. So, that's where we're sitting there right now with Bishi Balkan. Next up is the Nightmare Archfiends. You might remember this card just got a reprint, actually. This was paywalled behind one of the dumber sets in the game. I believe it was Crimson Crisis, if I recall. Yeah, this thing was in Crimson Crisis, and it got the reprint in the Dino Masher's Fury structure deck. Now, this card is it reads awful. It's just tribute one monster, special summon 3 Nightmare Archfiend tokens, Fiend type, Dark, level 6, attack 2000 defense to your opponent's field in attack position. Each time one of those is destroyed, your opponent takes 800 damage. Okay. This is the facilitator for a new OTK/FTK, and it's got to do with infinities. Now, you're probably like, Robbie, come on. All right. Well, the whole point of this is, I just wanted to mention that if you're trying to, or you're excited and you hear, anytime Infernity something comes up, it's not consistent by any stretch of the imagination, but Nightmare Archfiends is one of those stupid cards that you look at and you go, maybe I do want to play this. If you've already got Infernity stuff, go spend the 25 cents, have a copy of this. So when we do get the rollback trap card, you can try to cheese some wins out of this. This is more or less just talking about Infernities at this point. But yeah, we have another FTK here. You gotta love the gimmicks in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't even care like how consistent some of this stuff ends up being. It's just hilarious to see people talk about this, because I first saw the combo come out of the OCG side, and the fact that it just, you Nightmare Archfiends, hand them to your opponent, and then you use the Earthbound Trap card that looked terrible with the rollback. You ping all 3 monsters, your opponent will take 2,000 for each, and then all 3 of them are just destroyed, so your opponent will take 800. So it's literally 8,400 damage just off of full combo. Yeah. Next up is Dragublion. Now, I'm a sucker for Rank 8 Toolbox. I've gone on record many times to talk about how you want things for Rank 8 Toolbox. I mean, between what? Like, Dingrisu, Dragublion number 100. Obviously, there are other things in the toolbox of things, but, like, those are usually your main perpetrators of things out here. And we just got the new Horus support. A lot of people are kind of looking around at that going, like, I kind of like that. I mean, whether or not it's going to be consistent or not, Rank 8 Toolbox continues to get more and more added into it as time goes. I mean, you got, what was it, like, the Wanting Moon, you've got all of the value that Gizmek Orochi adds into the pile, level 2 tuners to expedite the process to make Baron. These are cards that are extremely cheap as it is, minus Dingrisu. That card's very expensive for whatever reason. Hopefully we will see some sort of change on that, but kind of where I'm sitting right here, honestly, I'd make sure that I have everything I can for a Rank 8 Toolbox, just on the off chance that, maybe it is something that does pique your interest, or, maybe there is, pardon me for saying this, maybe you're a Photon Galaxy Eyes player and you do already have the stuff. Well, then you don't really have to pick up much more. I mean, especially most of the Rank 8 Toolbox decks that do show up, Rank 8 is one of the strongest ones out there. It just doesn't get the chance to really get all that much play because the deck is just, I don't know. Rank 8 has always suffered from, we don't have good card syndrome outside of like Gizmek and, a few of the other cards. Like Swatch de Fleur is a fantastic card too to add into it, but I don't know. The more the sauce that we can add into the pile, I feel like the better off we are. Now, the last one I'm going to mention here is something from strictly a collector standpoint, and it's been the insert Exodia pieces out here. Now, for those of you that don't know this, Konami has been inserting these Exodia pieces into the random sets, the random side sets as of late, and I myself have actually been collecting these where I can. Now, the reason why I wanted to mention this is the only real difference that you can tell on them from the original ones, because they don't even have a set ID. It's just the copyright which changed at the bottom. Now, this is something fun in terms of collectability to kind of enjoy for the 25th anniversary of the game. And it's actually been kind of nice having, the challenge trying to track these down and have them. So, honestly, from a collector standpoint, I think that this is something really cool just to be able to add into the collection, just to have. There's always little bits and pieces of things on the collector side of the market that you kind of look at and you're like, well, if those are $10 and I spend $10 every couple of months to add one card into the pool, it's not really that crazy. Plus, it's an original Exodia set, has the original framework. I would love for the TCG to port this in. I think that would be an amazing thing. Hopefully we could port it with this frame. All right, I don't want to see this ported in without that, but I do think that would be something that would be incredibly cool to be able to just have and collect. So, what do you guys think about this list of things to consider picking up? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Like I said, the market is an ever-evolving place. And there's always lots of things to keep an eye on. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Patrons! Thank you! Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.